I welcome you to this video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to apply materials in this Lumion. Okay, and this will be the part 2 on how to apply material. Okay, so in my last video, I taught you how to apply materials on your walls, how to apply materials on your step, how to apply standard materials that is coming directly from your model, how to apply materials on your door, how to apply these wooden materials. Okay, so let's continue. We've also applied materials on this particular fence. We've applied materials on this cantilever slab. Okay, so we've applied these materials as well. So we also applied this dark gray material. So let's continue from where we stop. So I'm going to start with my glass material now. As you can see, we have applied a glass material before. So you select this, we've not applied a glass material. So you select this glass material. Then once you select it, you can double click from here. Then it now depends on you, whichever materials you can see. You have a lot of materials to use here. So I can select this interior glass 001. If I want to make it to look like this, also if I want to make it tint a bit, I can select this. So once I select this, I will double click it. So I can take it from here. I can take it to this side. Okay, I can take it from here, take it up. You can also work on the color right from here. Can you see? And also, if I don't like that color, I can still double click and make it a plain glass. Okay, you double click on any materials, then right from here you can adjust whatever you need to adjust right here. Okay, so let me say I select this and I still want to make it dark a bit. I'll just take this. Can you see? Can you see? You can still make it dark the way you want. You can make it another color. Can you see? But in realistic, you know that your glass should always be something like this. Okay, so you don't need to do much on that. So all you need to do is your reflectivity, internal reflection. You don't need to tamper your colorization much. You don't need to do much here. So you can just leave all this the way it is, and you click on save changes. Then here you can see that the material, the glass has what we call a ray profile. Can you see that immediately I hover my cursor to it, I can see what is called ray profile. Okay, so I can click on this. So I'll go to, let me say I go to outdoor. Let me see, do I have any? Okay, outdoor. Let's say I go to, let me go to indoor. This is metal, cotton. Okay, let's see. So let's go to this metal here. So on this metal, you can see aluminum. So you can click on this aluminum and you can also search for any other material. You can see we have copper, we have gold, we have iron, we have chrome. Okay, you can search as many as possible. So I will use this aluminum here. So I'll just double click on it. So once I double click on it, let's say I want to make it dark. I'll click on this and I'll make it dark. Okay, I want to make it dark this way. Then I can increase the colorization, the glossiness. I can just reduce that a bit. Then the reflectivity, I don't need it to be reflective like that. Okay, let me just leave it like this. Then the relief, you don't need to do much. The edge, this should not be too much. Okay, shouldn't be too much. Okay, then if you are okay with that, you just click on save changes. Then let's say this same material, this same aluminum materials here, I can decide to use it for my windows frame. Okay, I will select this and I will click on, let me say I click on copy materials. Then I'm going to select this. I'll select this. I'll click on color. Then I'm going to click on paste material. Okay, can you see we've successfully applied all this material? Can you see that? Okay, then if I still want to use that same material for this lights that you can see here, I can select this material again. Let me just say I select this material. Once I select this material, you can see immediately I hover my cursor to it, the name is called light bulb. Okay, so I will click on color. Okay, and I'll click on paste material. Okay, Then I remember that this door also has an handle. Let me click on save changes first. Then I remember that the door has an handle. So I want to move closer to this now. I can double click on right click. Okay, I double click on the right click. Okay, so here this is the door handle. You just have to move closer to it. Okay, so that you can be able to select this. Let me select this. Okay, so you can see that this is the door handle. You select it. Once you select it, let's say I even select this particular material and I say copy, and I go to this point and I say paste the material for me. I'll go to paste. Then I can edit that color if I don't want it to be the way the rest is. I edit this color from here. I edit this from here. Then if I'm okay, can increase the edge a bit. I'll click on save changes. Then don't forget to work on your slab. Okay, let's use the same material here. Okay, I'll just copy materials, click on this. Now click on let's say color, and I'll click on paste material. Okay, then I'll click on save changes. Then if you hover your cursor to this point, okay, you see that they are using the same wall. Can you see they are using the same wall paint? Okay, they are using the same wall paint. Let me press my hole, and at the same time I hover my cursor. Can you see that all those paints are using the same wall paint? Then you can still work on your tiles 150 mm wall. If you click on it, you can double click on this. If you want to select another tiles material, you can always do that. Okay, that depends on you as a designer. Okay, can you see these materials? Let me zoom closer so that you can be able to see this material that we just selected. Can you see? So you can come double click on it, and let's say you want to increase it a bit or you want to decrease it. Okay, let me just double click on this. I don't really like the material. So let me say I go to page 2, page 3. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is not looking bad. So let's double click on the material, and but I would just like to use the same material for this one and this one. So here I need to reduce the map scale. Okay, so I will reduce this map scale from here, but this is too much. Okay, can you see this look like tiles? This look like 40 by 40 tiles. Okay, so you can reduce the glossiness a bit. Okay, if you want to increase the colorization, you can increase it right from here, but let me leave it the way it is so that it can look more realistic. So let's say, let me just increase this a bit. Okay, the relief, you can also leave this like this. The edge, let me just give it a little weathering. Then the edge, you can come to the edge and make sure the edge is a bit sharpened. Okay, so let me just copy this material here. Then I'll select it and say copy. Then I'll make sure I select this step and I'll paste. Okay, they can be the same materials. So I'll click on save changes. Then I'll press my hole again. As you can see, immediately we apply that other materials here. They are now the same material. So, and that is how I want it to be. Okay, so which other material do we need to apply? So let's go to this place. You see that we have a cutting wall in this model. So, but let me select this particular material and I'll hit on copy. Then I'll go to that cutting wall here. Okay, then I'm going to select this. Once I select it, I'll go to color. Then I'm going to paste the material. Okay, so you don't need to work on the glass again, because immediately you apply all this glass, you can see that they all apply together because they are the same material. Okay, that is fine. So here, let me see which other material. So let's go straight to our landscaping. Let's go to this pavement. So let me click on save changes first. I will go to this pavement now. I will click on it. Once I click on it, I will go to outdoor, then I will go to stone. You just have to look for your stone. Okay, you left click on it. Then you can select any paving stone material that you will like to use for this model. Let's assume I want to use this. Double click on this. Okay, so let me zoom closer to it so that you can be able to see how realistic it is. So I'll zoom closer this way. So can you see that this is paving stone? Then if I want to increase the colorization a bit, let's say I just want to make it dull a bit, because if you increase it, it's going to be total white. So let me say I give it some bit of shadow. Okay, the glossiness, you can just reduce this a bit. Then the reflectivity also, I don't need it to be too much reflective. Okay, so the relief, you are going to be seeing the rough surface, depends on how you give it a relief. So if you look at it very well, you are going to see that changes. Okay, so let's go to the weathering. You give it a little touch of weathering. Then your edge also, can just give it a little edge. Then you click on save changes. Okay, now we are done with that. If you are not okay with this, you can still come back to this material, double click on this, and you still have some other materials here. There's still another materials here that looks realistic. If I go to, I think, page 4, let me see. No, let me go to page 3. Let me see this. No, this is not the material. Okay, I think this is the material. Okay, let me see. I think that's the material. That material is not also bad. So let me just, okay. So let's go and use the previous one we used before. Okay, so let me double click on this. This is good. I'll click on save changes. So for your concrete, if you don't like using this particular one, you can still select it. You double click on this and you go to outdoor. You can go to concrete. Then you can select any concrete material. So let me just save changes. Okay, so your grass, you can click on this grass, you select it. Once you select it, if you want to use the artificial grass that comes with the software, all you just need to do is to click on landscape and it will change it to the artificial grass. Can you see? So if you click on save changes, you're going to see that. But if you click on this, you can see, let me say I double click on this, or click on it rather, then you can go to various. Then if you go to various, you're going to see 2D grass, you're going to see 3D grass. So it now depends on you. You can select anyone. Can you see this is 3D grass? So you can select anyone you want to use for your model. So it now depends on you as a designer. So let me say I select this particular one. Let me change it. Can you see? Can you see that? So you can select as many as you want. If you go to leave, you can select leave. Can you see that? Which is very bad. So I'll go back to my, let me say I go back to my 2D grass. Okay, let me just pick one from my 3D grass. Okay, let me just select anyone here. Okay, let me select the first one and I'll click on save changes. Okay, can you see that? So can you see how we apply all materials? Because this grass and this one are the same thing. So right here, I will go straight to my roof. Okay, let me go straight to my roof. I'll just double click on it. Okay, can you see this move faster? Okay, it's not still bad. So let me just press my hole and rotate my building. So you rotate that building this way. Okay, so you can zoom closer. Make sure this bracket is on it. Okay, looks like the center point. So then you can select this from here. Okay, so let's select this particular one. Then you can come to outdoor. Let's say you can see your roofing material, you select it. Then you can be able to select any roofing material that you would love to use. Can you see the way this one is looking? So you can select any other material here. Let me still double click on it back and look for any other material. Can select this. Can you see how this one is? So that is that. So you can choose to use this particular one. It looks more realistic. Can you see that? Then if you double click on it, then you can increase the colorization, okay, and you can reduce it. And I've taught you how to use your standard materials. If you still want to maintain the standard materials, you can still do that. So let me take this to something like black. So I will increase this colorization, okay, and decrease. Okay, let me say I increase it. Okay, the glossiness, I can reduce it a bit. The reflectivity, okay, let me just make it reflective a bit. The relief, okay. Then the map scale, if you tamper with the map scale, you see how it is. So make sure you select the right value for it, okay. Okay, so let's leave this way. I'll click on save changes. So I'm going to click on whole. Now at the same time rotate at this, okay. So right here you can see what we have done so far. Okay, so right here, that is that for now. This is where I'm going to stop for now. In our next video, we are going to see how we can place some things, some objects in this model, okay. We are going to see how we can place some objects. Can you see that the design is looking very good? Okay, so always save your project whenever you are done, or if you know you cannot finish the work that day, just go to file and go to save. I've taught you how to do this because you've saved as before, so you can always save, okay, so that when you come, all you just need to do is to load whichever project you are working on, okay. So this is where I'm going to stop for now. I'll click on build mode. And in our next video, we are going to continue on this particular model, okay? Thank you very much. See you in my next video.